Tom, so good to see you. Today we have a public service announcement. Do not take a loan from your 401k. According to Transamerica Center for Retirement, about 34 to 37% of workers have either taken a loan, early withdrawal, or a hardship withdrawal from their 401k. And a lot of people think that they are borrowing from themselves when they take a 401k loan. But according to Vanguard, the average 401k balance in 2024 was $121,000, not enough to get you through retirement. So how could taking money out even temporarily set you back?
Yeah, so the issue is that you're not really borrowing your own money.
Yeah.
You're borrowing money, and then the plan is basically holding your account as collateral. And what happens is they will move that amount of money into a stable value fund or a fixed interest rate account that's earning a low rate of return for you in this interest rate environment, as opposed to it being in your equity fund or your fixed income fund or what have you, something that's growing at a more rapid or a greater rate.
Mm-hmm.
So you're losing out on that end.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you have to pay interest on the loan as well. So there's a compounding effect there. And then speaking of compounding.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking the words right out of my mouth. I'm glad you brought it up. Let's talk about the loss of compounding growth. Fidelity found that a 30-year-old who borrows $10,000 and misses just 5 years of growth could lose more than $25,000 by retirement. Can you explain how this works?
Sure. So if your money is moved into a low interest rate environment, right, into a stable value or some other type of fixed account that's only earning you 1%, say, whereas your stock holdings were earning 7 or 8% every year, you're missing out on that 6% growth every year. That every year is going to be compounding.
Right.
In other words, interest earns interest because these are deferred accounts. So you're not paying tax as you're going along in the account. You're only going to pay tax as the money comes out in a distribution of some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I would probably say that number is low, but we'll go with Vanguard.
Okay, just for illustrative purposes right now. So a lot of people also don't realize that repayments on a 401k loan are made, of course, with after-tax dollars, and withdrawals in retirement are taxed again as ordinary income. So this is a double tax hit.
Absolutely. This is the dirty little secret about loans that most people don't even realize. Just as you stated, Aaron, when you're paying that loan back, it's with your after-tax dollars. So it's coming straight out of your paycheck, right? After taxes have been paid, after Social Security has been paid, so on and so forth. But when that money goes back into the account, back into your 401k, it's not differentiated. So when it comes time for your retirement or time for you to start taking distributions from that account, they look at it as if it was pre-tax dollars all along.
Yeah.
And so if you borrowed 50,000 and paid interest over time, well, that same 50,000 plus interest that you paid back with after-tax dollars is considered a contribution and will be taxed all over again.
Right. Okay. And now let's talk about what happens if you do not repay that loan. What do you lose?
So there could be a big loss for you. So technically, when you don't pay the loan back, let's say you default on quote unquote on the loan, then what happens is the IRS looks at that as a full distribution. So I borrow 50,000, I only pay 10,000 back, and then I default for whatever reason on that loan. Well, the IRS looks at that 50,000 now as a distribution.
Right.
So it becomes a taxable event to me. If I'm under 59 and a half, then I also have to pay that 10% early distribution penalty. A lot of people, when they leave their employers these days, they still might have a loan on the books, or within their 401k plan, and you're best off trying to pay that off typically, so that you don't have a tax problem once you transition out of that 401k plan.
Mm-hmm. So then, Tom, what should we tap if we need some money instead of our 401k?
Yeah, the look for whatever resources you can. And I know, especially in this economic environment, it's tough for people. But and I hate to be the person that says I told you so, but we talk about creating your own capital pool all the time, utilizing cash value life insurance. That's the place to go to. That's the place where you can have liquidity, you have flexibility, you have access to your capital, and at the same time, it's still going to grow over time, and it's going to, as you repay it back, all what you're doing is you're replenishing your pool, just like when you borrow from your 401k, but with a lot less risk and danger to your retirement portfolio.
Right. But that does require some proactive planning. So, Tom,
Absolutely.
if somebody would like to sit down with you to get started with that infinite banking, what's the best way to reach you?
You can always call the office, 973-394-0623. Email us, tjoconnell@internationalfinancial.com, and we will get back to you, and we will help you understand this and even start the process of creating your own capital pool.
Great. Tom, thank you.
Thanks, Erin. Great seeing you.